During this series, we are comparing our lives to this jar. See, we all have the same amount of space every day, and we all fill that space with sports, homework, chores, school, clubs, band, choir, camps, community service, you name it. We all have full schedules, overloaded brains, and we are missing out on what's important. The big rocks of life. See, this is a busy life. But some of us, we're not busy, we're bored. See, we have a few things going on, nothing too exciting. Our lives lack meaning and purpose. Our parents wish we would get our act together. What's important? Not much. Where are you headed? Not sure. Big rocks? What are big rocks? See, some of us are bored, and some of us are busy. Both of these jars, they're messed up. They're not right. Something needs to change because Jesus himself said, I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. What would it be like if we lived a life that was full? Not a full schedule, not a life full of appointments or homework or chores or stuff, but a life that is full of all God's great stuff. It's all about putting in the big rocks first. It's all about putting the important stuff in your life first. When you put the big rocks in first, it all fits. We don't have to keep missing out on this awesome life God has for us. We can get the big rocks in, but what are they? What are the big rocks? What are the most important things in our lives? Whenever we want to know about life and how it is best lived, we should look to the life of Jesus, the one who had life to the fullest. We're actually going to take a look at the last 24 hours of Jesus' life. Imagine it for a second. You know you're going to die in 24 hours. What do? Who are you with? What do you say? Well, Jesus, he decided to hang out with his buddies. They were together just before the biggest holiday of the year. And Jesus knew he was going to the cross soon. So they're eating, and Jesus looks around the table, and I have to imagine he stopped when his eyes landed on Judas. You know, the guy that was going to turn him over to be killed. He decides to leave it alone. He was confident in God's promises that he would be killed, raised from the dead, and return to his rightful place with the Father. And he does something odd. He decides to wash his friend's feet. At that time, this is the ultimate gesture of service. What does Jesus do in his last 24 hours? Besides being on trial in multiple places, being beaten, carrying a heavy cross, and dying a painful death on it, he has a meal with his closest friends and washes their feet. What? I mean, maybe have a meal with some buddies, but wash their feet? Why? And if I was Jesus, I might have taken the opportunity to get even with a guy named Judas. Seriously. But that wasn't on Jesus' list. He wanted to be with his best friends and serve them. When Jesus was on earth, he spent the majority of his time with the same small group of friends he was with in that room when he got down on his knees and washed their feet. The biggest rock during his 3-year ministry was investing in this group of friends. Sounds a lot like what we call small group. Or does it? So often we think small group is answering questions our leaders ask from a sheet of paper, but small group is much more important than getting the right answers and having a conversation. Small groups are big rocks. I think being a part of a small group can be the opportunity of a lifetime. I mean, we've seen students find new hope, purpose, and passion because of the relationships forged in a small group. We've seen thousands of students find their way back to God because someone told their story in small group. We've seen small groups on mission serving all sorts of people and places in need. They're called small groups, but there's nothing small about them. Jesus' small group literally turned the world upside down. Here's the dare for today. Get in a small group if you aren't in one. It will change your life. If you are in a small group already, don't allow those relationships to end when the official small group conversation ends. Make room for those people in your life. Make room to deepen those relationships outside of the scheduled group time like Jesus did. Why not do a small group sleepover or even head to the movies this Friday or hang out and play video games? Do the stuff you love to do together. Do me a favor. Include everyone. I know some of your friends are friends outside of here and some you're just not. But don't leave anybody out. Jesus didn't. Connecting, really connecting in small groups is a big rock.